We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. Season's greetings, alumni.
Are we going to try to make that a thing?
Well, we can occasionally we can occasionally like revitalize it whenever we remember to, like just
whenever
now.
we feel.
I'm like, oh, what are we going to call our listeners? Oh yeah, the alumni. Let's do that. So this week's pod. Oh, students. Yeah, I suppose. Why would we hold a session to talk about with former students?
Right.
All right. So season's greetings, students. This week's pod is in session, and we can
just call this class. Class is in session.
Class is in session. Students. This seems really. I don't know if I like this.
Hey, listeners. Welcome. Just drop the whole facade.
What do we like, everyone? Do we want to feel like this sort of little exclusive club with a name?
What do you want to be called?
Yeah, what should we call you? Sir, ma'am, madam?
Mr. and last name, Miss and last name?
Yeah, Mr., Miss, Mrs., Ms.
You.
What's the difference between Ms. and Miss? Aside from spelling and pronunciation, but what is the meaning behind just MS dot or MISS? Is there...
I believe it's just an abbreviation.
What?
Yeah.
Like MS is an abbreviation of Miss?
I believe so.
Miss versus Ms. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
This is today's lesson, class. So we have Miss versus Ms. People sometimes mistake Ms for an abbreviation of Miss.
Oh.
Some people do that, since other titles are conveniently abbreviated in writing. Mrs., Mr., Doctor. In fact, they're two different terms with different pronunciations, and Miss has no abbreviation, but is always written in full. Since both titles can refer to unmarried women, it can be difficult to decide which is the right choice. Always follow the preference of the woman being addressed, but if you're not sure of her preference, the following general guidelines may help. Miss is the form always used for girls. Ms. is only used for adult women 18 or older. Miss is a common title for unmarried women up to roughly the age of 30. Ms. is generally used for unmarried women past the age of 30. It's also a safe option for women of any age whom you are unsure how to address. Ms. can also be used instead of Mrs. for a married woman. Miss cannot be used in this way.
Without being able to see what you're reading, it's hard to follow.
Okay, so let me start over.
No.
I was trying to be very distinct in my pronunciation so that, look, I can highlight this, I can copy all of this text, and we can put it in our show notes. Or you just want to link to it.
I mean,
link to it?
Neither.
Link to it. I'll send you the link. This is on scribbler.com.
Please don't.
I will send you the link, and we will include it in the show notes.
It's going to be a waste of time.
And that way, anyone who was unable to tell what I was pronouncing at what given moment will be able to see the true uses for Miss and
you honestly
Ms.
sent it to me. I'm not going to do anything with it.
I did send it. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. I don't want to make empty promises.
What I don't understand
to our students.
I mean, you're making promises that you don't have to do anything about. That's the thing. You're making promises for me to do.
Look, I also did work. I copied the link and sent it to you. Now you just need to copy the link and paste it in the show notes. That's the equal amount of work.
Nobody's going to look at it.
We can, but we're not denying them the option.
They can literally Google it themselves if they're really that interested.
They can, but you know
Here's
what?
I don't understand.
It's our job as teachers of these students to provide the source material for which they can study the topics that we want them to learn about.
I'm pretty sure teachers now just say Google it.
They might, but we're old school. We graduated a long time ago, Matt.
I know.
When
Don't remind me.
Okay.
Here's what I don't understand. Why is MRS period short for Mrs.?
Why don't you look it up?
There's no R in Mrs.
It's showing possession
Google
to the
it
mister.
for me and then send me the link.
You belong to the mister. So it should be MR''S. It's like you're his.
Misters.
Yeah. Why is Mrs. MRS? That's not what I typed. Why is there an R in Mrs.? This is on Quora.com. This is interesting. It originated as mistress.
Oh,
not
that's
as
a much different thing.
Not as in one of Hugh Hefner's many mistresses, but as mistress of the house.
Okay.
In the same context, in pre-PC days, a man was master of the house, or he bathed in that illusion anyway. So the man was the master of the house, the woman was the mistress of the house.
Got it.
MRS being the abbreviation for Mrs.
Interesting.
I do think
I
that's
like the
so obviously
pre-PC days.
Yeah.
Like
Obviously,
that
somewhere
part.
along the way, they changed it so that Mrs. is not a short for mistress. It's just short for Mrs. It's weird. You pronounce it the same. Anyway.
They basically just changed the meaning of the abbreviation without changing the abbreviation.
Exactly.
They could have just changed the word altogether.
Yeah,
and just be like,
but that
this
probably
isn't
would have
really okay anymore, so we're going to shelf it.
Well, what else could they have done that would have made it less confusing? Because we already have MISS, and we already have MS.
Miss and Miss.
So to throw another MS variant abbreviation in there,
True.
it's going to cause way more confusion.
Yeah, because then Mrs. would be like MSS period.
Yeah, so you'd have
And
MISS period, and then MS period, and then MSS period.
Well, you don't have MISS period.
You don't. You have MISS. You're right.
Yeah.
But either way,
We could put a period
we could.
there if it's like the end of a sentence.
Well, every
Like,
so often there's a
excuse me,
period.
miss.
Depending on their age, anyway.
I mean, at that point, if you're already calling them miss in that way, it might be pre-period.
True, because there's supposed to be someone under a certain age, right?
Under 18.
Under
I
18.
thought, right? Yeah, I mean, they should have it sometime within being called that.
Right.
You'd hope, unless you got a very late bloomer.
That's what I call it. I call it blooming.
Well, yeah, a lot of people call it that.
Like every time. Oh, I'm blooming right now? Oh,
I mean, not every month.
It's my time to bloom.
It's just the initial time.
The first time.
Yeah.
That's when they bloom.
They've bloomed. Yep.
Got it.
Then after that, it's is it molting or wilting?
Wilting. If we're talking about flowers, if we're talking
Women
about
wilt
birds,
once a month.
if we're talking about birds, which
Birds
sometimes
molting, yeah.
sometimes women are referred to as birds,
Mm-hmm.
so we could go molting in this sense.
Right. Or if they're deer, they're rutting.
They're rutting.
Yeah, I think that's just male deer, though.
Okay. Is that
I don't know enough about deer.
losing? Are they like losing patches of fur? Is that what mudding is?
Rutting. With an
Rutting.
R.
I'm sorry. I thought we
Mudding.
removed the R.
Yeah, mudding is mudding, like MUTT, mudding.
Sure, that's the act of crossbreeding and
it's what you're doing when you're preparing mutton.
Why isn't that
for a sandwich?
Why isn't that muttoning?
It's just they shortened it over the years. That was pre-PC.
It was pre-PC days, yeah. When it was okay to say you were muttoning something.
Right. Man, sometimes I just enjoy us coming into a session not knowing what the fuck we're about to do because
bare bones.
It really brings us in weird directions.
I like
talking about women wilting.
There's a sense of freedom. It's a sense of freedom. But again, you don't believe in any of this because according to you, okay, I guess you're not going to remember. You're just not going to say it. Women don't exist.
I don't know what you're talking about.
According to you, I don't follow this mantra.
I mean, that was the pre-PC me, Sean. I'm a very
Sure.
PC person now, and I do acknowledge that women exist in this world.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the first time this has been stated on the show.
I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Oh, it's probably the first time I've straight up stated it that women are real.
That's what that means.
Yep.
Yes.
Got it.
Well, it's not really, but it's the first time I've said it.
It's the first time I brought it up, but it's not really. It's happened.
Well, no one said that. No one said it's the reason. What was your change of heart? What brought you into this modern PC era? Not to be confused with personal computer.
I don't know. I might change my mind again. It just depends. It's going to depend on what's funny at the moment.
Yeah, but that's okay. So leaving yourself open to changing your mind in the future means that you can explain what brought you to this. Oh God, yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't at this very moment didn't feel like making that joke. I guess.
Got it. Because it's the PC days now.
It's the PC day. This is our PC episode.
Yeah, it was supposed to be our Christmas episode. We're going to call it our PC episode.
I mean,
what is that? You were just manhandling some kind of object. What is that?
Hard drive.
Oh, look at that!
It was sitting in a weird position. Yeah. So, okay. Speaking of hard drive,
is that the new one? No. I was gonna say that's pretty big and bulky.
All right. So nobody else can see this, but this thing is
looks like a Western Digital.
I don't even know how to describe about the size of what this thing is. It's like
it's
about the size of like a Bible,
a medium-sized book. I was gonna say some kind of book, but
it's. Hold on, I can tell you it's
thick with 2 C's
dimensions right now because I have a tape measure right here.
Very good. Oh yeah,
2 inches wide.
How do I describe the dimensions of this object I'm holding?
It's 2 inches wide, 5.5 inches long, and 6.5 inches tall. Right.
Oh, so that's the King James Bible.
Yeah. This is a hard drive I've had for about 15 years.
Great.
It still amazingly works. I haven't had any issues with it. Still has a lot of very important shit on it that I need to get moved.
You better move that fast because it's just going to dump.
Yeah, it's I think I don't remember exactly. It's like maybe 640 gigs or something. It's a weird amount of gigs. It's not like a nice even number. So I've had that one for 15 years. Now, this one I'm about to show you is the one I just bought.
Ooh.
Okay. This thing is less than a half inch thick, 3 inches wide, and a little over 4 inches tall. And this is 2 terabytes.
So this is more of in line with your own dimensions.
I've gotten smaller.
Yeah, and that's normally
smaller, but I have more room to store things.
It's normally not impressive to people, but in this instance, we're going to be impressed by something being smaller.
Yeah, when I was fatter, you could fit less in me, but now that I'm smaller, I can take more in.
Lady. I see. Without explicitly saying it, I think I know what you're alluding to.
Yeah, I'm talking about pegging.
Oh, well, I said without saying it, but we're going to go ahead.
I'll cut that out.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
You won't paste a link. You won't cut audio out.
It's so much easier.
Cutting audio out?
They're equally as easy, actually.
I would say cutting audio out is harder because you have to find the piece you want to cut out and select it specifically and then remove it. Whereas
it's
Control C, next document, Control V, you're done. Maybe you got to place a cursor somewhere.
Does a Apple computer have a control button?
It doesn't. Well, it does, but on an Apple keyboard, there's a command key, and you use that for your cut, copy, pasting.
So let's be all inclusive here.
Well, you are not on an Apple keyboard, correct? You're on one where you use Control C and Control V to perform copy and paste. You don't know if I have a separate
Apple keyboard that I hook up to my PC just to make things harder.
The odds that you have that
are low, but
are the odds that you got smaller and can fit more inside you.
I mean, I did get smaller since I bought that original hard drive.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah.
So yes, okay, fine. It's as easy as hitting Control C and Control V on a non-Apple keyboard, and as easy as hitting Command C and Command V on an Apple keyboard. Just so everyone is included, okay? We're being PC
What
here.
if I'm using a typewriter?
If you're using a typewriter, you can't use links at all, even if it's an electric typewriter.
But what if you're somebody like me who gets an analog photograph, which is just a printed out photo.
Sure.
And wants to take a closer look at it and does the pinch thing on it, like we had talked about. I did.
Yeah. long time ago. enlarge the footer.
Yeah. What if I have a printed document that has a website typed out and I want to click on it?
So I will say this. We are not far from that with various AR glasses being in the works. Mm-hmm. You will be able to look at a link on a printed page and touch it with your finger and then open that link as long as you're wearing some kind of headgear that can display what the link leads to. I guarantee it. I guarantee that's on the horizon in the next few years. I guarantee it.
What? Where? How did we? I don't remember how we got to this.
I was telling you how easy it is to copy and paste a link, and you were saying it was just as easy to remove a very specific selection of audio from a giant file that looks like a waveform.
It's not that hard because usually if there's something I need to specifically edit, I'll jot down the time.
Like a turkey gobble, for example.
Yeah, which is never happening again because the turkey's dead now.
Or that's right, he got shot.
Yep, the turkey got shot. We never talked about it.
No, we didn't.
You talked to me about it specifically offline, but we never talked about it on the podcast that the turkey is shot and dead.
Let's do it then. Mm-hmm. I forget how many episodes ago it was. I, again, cued the turkey gobble, much to Matt's frustration, but he put it in there, and unbeknownst to me, he threw in a gunshot following the turkey gobble. So now the poor thing is dead.
I was always curious if, like, I kind of wish I could watch Sean's reaction when that part comes up because I just wanted to see how you would actually react to it. You did text me and say, "Did you shoot the turkey?"
I did. I was like, "No, I love that turkey."
No, turkey is officially dead. That's canon now.
It brought me so much joy, though. Canon. It brought me so much holiday joy.
It brought you joy, and I have lived these last 27 years of our friendship. I have lived to kill any joy you've had.
I was wondering where this was happening. I thought you were trying to say you've been suffering through this turkey gobble thing for 27 years. No. Get over it.
No, I've only been suffering for that for, I don't know, the last year or so that we've been
a year, let's say, to be generous.
But the turkey is officially dead. Not to say that there aren't more turkeys out there, so who knows? But
another turkey is
officially dead.
Yeah. I was.
We've talked a lot about different animals that have been killed throughout this podcast.
Well, yeah.
How many dogs you've killed and stuff. This is the first official murder that has occurred during the show.
Yeah, the first on-air murder.
Yeah.
We've always just referenced previous murders of various animals. Yeah, that was. You know what, Matt? We're going to run the clip right now of the turkey being shot, so everyone else that may have missed it the first time can enjoy it.
You can stop trying to get me. Excuse me. You can stop trying to get me to have to do insane amounts of editing and looking up clips and shit. Now, granted, the whole reason I bought this fucking hard drive to bring it back for a second was so that I could have all of our podcast stuff in one place because it unfortunately over time has been taking up a ton of space. My computer last episode, I literally could not save the file of the built episode because my hard drive on my computer had been filled, and that's a 500 gig hard drive. I had filled that already. I've only had this computer for about almost 2 years, so I had already filled it. And I had already prior to that, I had already pulled a bunch of that, all that work off and put it on this other the old hard drive. So I had already freed up a ton of stuff. That was already, I had already moved 200 gigs worth of old files off of my new computer onto that hard drive because it had filled up my computer once already. So yes, now it's probably easier for me to go back through and pull audio from different things, but it's still very time consuming and I refuse to do it. So stop suggesting until we get good enough and big enough and make some money off of this thing to hire somebody to do editing. Stop making ridiculous requests of me. Once we pay somebody to do this for us, then we can make ridiculous requests for them to pull clips.
So, according to you, we will not have another sound effect of any kind until we have someone to edit for us that we can pay?
That's not necessarily true. I'm saying stop asking me to pull clips from old episodes.
But you're also refusing to cue the turkey gobble.
I'm just sick of the turkey gobble.
Okay, so another. I can bring up another. Okay, I could do another animal. Let's say
you can say it'll all depend on if I'm in the mood to do it.
I gotcha. Well, this is the season of giving.
Yeah. So give me a break.
Today, on the day of recording, it is Christmas Eve, and we do plan for this, right? We do. We plan for this to drop Christmas Day.
That's what you wanted. You wanted me to. I was reluctant based on the fact that I figured we were pretty tapped out on the Christmas topics at this point.
Okay, you're right.
We did a couple weeks worth.
Yeah.
But
so
it's fine. It doesn't matter to me. We can drop it whenever.
It doesn't have to be related to Christmas. It could just be. So here's a
special Christmas present episode.
Yes, that's how we're going to spin it. It's our gift to the listeners. A day they get the episode a day early, and it's on Christmas Day. They can enjoy it. They can put their earphones in to ignore their families,
right,
and listen to us instead.
Yeah. I'll be very curious to check the analytics. Probably not. I probably won't check them Christmas Day, but I'll check them the next day and see that we had 0 downloads on Christmas.
I do want to thank our mysterious Belgian listener, potentially. It seems like in the history of this podcast, we've had on the day our episode drops, we've always had a reliable one download in Belgium, whether that's through some kind of VPN or someone's legitimately in Belgium listening to this. But they seem to have gone away for a few weeks, and they seem to have made a nice return. And so, if you are a real Belgian human being that's listening to us in Belgium weekly, I want to thank you for coming back. And,
also, like, if you are a real person, shoot us an email. Let us know. Because
stop asking for that.
I'm not being like that. I'm just saying, like, I would love to know if it's actually a real person. So if it is a real person and they would like to just say hi, it'd be really cool to do that. And then, maybe we'll do something special for you. I don't know.
Maybe we'll make you some waffles,
but not those Belgian kind. We'll make you some special American waffles.
Are there?
I don't know.
Isn't every waffle just a Belgian waffle? Like, is there? What's a Belgian waffle? Waffles themselves?
Yeah, I mean, fries are Belgian.
They are?
Yeah, fries were created in Belgium.
How did they get the name French fries?
Google it.
No. Maybe after this. But we need to get to this. We need to get to this dad joke.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. All right. Sorry, so you didn't really... I said hold on. You didn't need to.
I was like, what is it? What am I holding on for?
I'm like, hold on. I need to write something down.
So I can't talk while you're doing that.
Listeners need to hear me silently write something down. All right.
Also, if we sound different to you, Matt and I sort of did an indirect little mic swap, if you will. We each are using the other person's normal microphone. Not that we actually physically traded microphones, but, things are on sale this time of year. And so we each picked up the microphone that the other had previously used, and now we're seeing how that goes.
Yep. I pretty much feel this will be the mic I switch to full time for the podcast. Because I think it works better for me too, especially because this mic's not going to pick up nearly as much room noise as my other mic did.
And I kept telling you that over and over again.
I know, but
anyway.
I kept waiting, apparently, for this microphone to go back on sale. So,
well, I even offered for us to trade our actual microphones, considering the other one might suit the other person better.
I still want my other microphone. That's the thing.
Makes sense. All right. So I'm going to do 2. One of them is because I'm wondering if it's questionable as far as if it's like we're in the PC era now.
Oh, it might be of questionable taste.
It might be a poor taste, but we'll see. So this is the Christmas themed one first. I've been collecting candy canes for years.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in mint condition.
Nice.
Next, we'll see about this one. I just started reading a horror novel in Braille. Something is about to happen. I can
feel it. My favorite idea of anything in Braille is if there's ever anything in Braille that says "do not touch." Like if you read the words in Braille "do not touch," it's just kind of funny to me.
Sure. I've never seen that.
Yeah, like at a museum or something.
Oh yeah. Well, the message isn't referring to the message itself, though.
Right.
So what if it's not funny at all?
What if there's something in Braille that says this surface is hot?
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be a nice prank. So I think I have I want to challenge the verbiage used on these signs around elevators and stuff when they refer to if there's a fire, right?
You're right.
Because what do they say? In case of a fire,
use stairs.
Well, use stairs, but then so maybe there's one that I'm looking at that's slightly different. In case of a fire, the elevators are not operational.
Right.
Right? What that should say is in the event of a fire, the elevators will be non-operational. Because what this sounds like is, in case there's ever a fire, these elevators just don't work. Just in case.
Right.
Just in case there's a fire sometime. We made it so the elevators don't work.
I don't know if I've ever, I feel like I've seen the in the event of a fire. Or maybe I'm thinking of when you're on a plane and they always say in the event of something. In the event of a water landing. Like there's no such thing as a water landing.
Well, yeah. So every time I'm
at
water
work crashing.
Well, say that to the pilot who landed on the Hudson.
Did he land on the Hudson though? I think the plane crashed. He crashed successfully on the Hudson. It was a successful crash, as in it wasn't,
fatal,
a bad, crazy crash. The plane stayed intact.
Well, then by the definition of a crash, I would call that an unsuccessful crash.
I suppose.
Like if you're labeling the crash successful, that means you want there to be damage.
I guess
destruction. So he avoided killing passengers. He prevented passenger death successfully.
I mean, he could have avoided killing passengers in so many ways.
The whole time he maintained in the cockpit, fighting the urge to exit and just start hacking away.
Right.
The entire time he was flying, he was mentally also preventing.
It's been pretty frowned upon to do that since 9/11.
Where before it was promoted and
it just was, people didn't really think about it so much.
True.
But now it's very much, it's one of those things where it's like, until something happens, people aren't really like, yeah, you shouldn't do that,
Right. But those were the pre-PC days.
Yeah. It's like, they don't have to put caution hot on things until somebody burns their mouth and then sues a company.
Yeah.
Coffee may be hot.
From what I understand from what I've heard of the details of that case, it was like, yes, it was hot, but it was insanely hot. I think that was the point of it.
Yeah.
Like to a level where no beverage should be served at that temperature.
I don't know how that happens. Because aren't coffee machines kind of set to it, gets it to a certain temperature, and then it stops heating it up?
Probably.
It might have been a malfunction in the...
It may have been a malfunction.
But, if you're drinking coffee at McDonald's, you deserve worse. If that's your morning coffee place. I mean, come on.
I've heard coffee drinkers say that the McDonald's coffee is not bad.
Not bad is,
as in what they mean is they're inferring that they're inferring that it's better than they expected out of McDonald's, and that it's something they would have again.
I guess. I mean, I just think it's weird if that's what you go there just for that. Like, to me, that seems weird. Like, I'm going to go get some coffee and then you go to McDonald's. That to me is an odd situation versus like, I'm going to get myself some McDonald's and then I guess while I'm here, I'll get some coffee. You are having a crisis with that windscreen right now. What in the hell happened? So Sean was basically like waving at me with his windscreen there for a second. He was going back and forth. Don't shake your head at me. It was going back and forth, and then the whole thing just came off while he was making it dance for a little while.
So I'm back now.
Yeah, what the hell?
I thought, because the windscreen was a little low and it was really close to the mic, so it actually bumped it at one point. So I was just trying to move it away, but the arm is such that it's loose at times. It starts to just sort of droop. So it started to droop. So I just tried to like tighten it a little bit at the end and adjust it so that I could position it where I want it and it would stay there. And then it just completely came off of the arm, and all of a sudden I'm just holding it freehand.
Is that windscreen made for that arm?
No, this is the one that came with our original mics.
Does it hook in there good?
No, I had to.
Yeah,
no.
I was going to say, because these ones were built kind of for these, specifically for the arms that we previously bought.
Yeah, so I have a different arm style altogether, and there is so I ordered this mic. Let's get back into the weeds of it. I ordered this mic off of B&H Photo Video, and for some reason they added a free, which you keep calling it a windscreen, but it's a pop filter. They added a pop filter to a free pop filter to my order. And so I have that in the box, but I'm just like, well, I've got this one I already have from the old mic. I'll just hook this one up. Maybe the other one would connect to this arm better.
I would assume the other one will probably connect a lot better if it came with the arm.
But no.
So what do you call the windscreen then? The fucking little thing that goes over the microphone itself?
The piece that goes over the actual microphone is the windscreen. Okay. The pop filter is the circular or other shape of device.
And that's for cutting down plosives?
Plosives, yes. Why would a windscreen only block one direction when wind can blow from all directions?
I told you to never bring up one direction.
I said wind direction.
No, you said why would the wind only come from one direction?
Oh, damn it, I did say that.
Yeah. Now, baby, you light up my life, but like
and that's what makes
else.
You beautiful. And that's what makes you beautiful. Is that a One Direction song?
Yeah. Those were,
I love it.
Yeah, we both were reciting lyrics from One Direction songs, or song, and that's probably all we know.
Was it the same song?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, nice. I've heard it a lot in my my Uber driving experience when I put on just this mix called Pure Party, because I'm like, this is just background music that anyone probably likes.
I would throw it honestly, if I was an Uber driver, I wouldn't give a fuck what anybody else would want to listen to, and I would just put on my own music. I would keep it low, but I'd be like, sorry, you're listening to this, whatever it may be. I was trying to think of like an insanely offensive song, and I couldn't.
You're gonna listen to Frank Zappa the whole time. I don't care.
Yeah, sorry, we're going to listen to the South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut soundtrack.
Oh, that's a good one. A lot of people would be on board with that, probably.
Yeah. I was trying to think of something that just has a lot of offensive lyrics in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're
probably
listening to Pussy Riot.
We're gonna listen to WAP.
Yeah, on repeat.
Yeah. Why not? Loop. Yeah. Shuffle.
I'm sorry. If you don't like a wet ass pussy in this car, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah, because I maintain a constant.
Yeah,
that has to be.
I left some napkins in the back for that wet ass pussy.
Well, that's very considerate of you.
Yep.
Have you thought about like a washcloth?
Yeah, some sort. Well, here's the thing. Yes and no. A washcloth would be better. Napkins are obviously
yes. It's yes or no. If to answer, have you thought about?
Okay. Yes. However, the problem. So napkins obviously not the best for cleaning up a mess because they absorb very quickly. Then you have to throw them out, or they shred as you're.
And they leave. Yeah, they leave that little bit of the napkin dust.
Problem with using like a towel or a.
What about a ShamWow? Get a ShamWow.
ShamWow would probably be better because you can wring that back out and then it can be used again. A towel, once it gets wet from that wet ass pussy, that thing's just done until you launder it.
It is. It's pointless to try to make me laugh when I am on mute, Matt. But that's good.
Didn't notice you were on mute.
Good.
But regardless of you being muted, I stand by my statement. A towel's just going to get wet and it's going to stay wet. Now you got a trunk full of wet ass pussy towels. Wapty. You got a trunk full of Wapty.
Oh, my pop filter.
I didn't think that was going to be that funny when I said it. Your trunk is getting weighted down, right?
Okay, gas mileage is through the roof now.
Yeah, your gas mileage is getting worse. Your shocks are taking a bigger hit.
Yeah,
because you got all that wetness in your trunk. You're ruining the trunk liner.
Oh, I get WeatherTech, man.
And you're mixing smells of many different women all piled up in that. You imagine after the end of a long session of Ubering,
yeah,
and you pop that trunk open to get all your towels out to get them washed,
laundered.
Yeah, that's gonna be a mixture of and all the water is eventually gonna all the wetness is eventually gonna just keep going down to the bottommost towels.
Yeah,
so the top ones are gonna be a little dry and stiff. The bottom ones are gonna be just soft and wet. How long do you think
I'm driving?
How long do you think
I'm driving for?
This is weeks.
At one time.
Weeks of nonstop Ubering.
And I just let it fester. I just let these towels fester in the trunk the whole. Yeah.
And you're not going to want to bring those towels home to wash them. You're going to have to bring them to a laundromat.
I am constantly finding myself in the McDonald's drive-thru to get myself a fresh brew.
Yeah, get yourself some coffee, and then you're like, oh, I gotta pop the trunk.
It's so hot.
While I'm,
this coffee's so hot.
It's summertime too, so all that's
the
heat's coming into your trunk on top of those.
And again, the coffee scalding hot, beyond consumable. This temperature, my lord.
Yeah, so I thought about using towels.
Damn it.
Less disposable. ShamWow, though. Yeah, ShamWow. Here's the problem. You're not. Well, because the thing is you're not going to want to.
They're out of business.
Well, that probably. I don't know if you can still buy them or not. You can probably buy a very similar product that works just as well.
You can combine them with your MyPillow order.
Yeah, you don't want to use a MyPillow for this situation.
No one said that.
Okay.
No one said that.
So the problem with a ShamWow, yes, the ShamWow is you can wring it out and then you can be like, all right, I'm putting that ShamWow back down to take care of all that wop in my back seat.
Yeah.
Eventually, like now you're just having a lot of different people reuse it. Like even though you can get all the moisture out of it, you're not getting anything else out of it as far as like germs and different stuff, right? So you still can't use a ShamWow like all day long.
You're talking about before it's laundered, correct?
Before it's laundered, yeah. So like, yeah, you don't have a trunk full of fucking towels that are full of wetness, but now you have a ShamWow that's just covered in other people's germs. Though it might be, you know, wrung out and dry. You just need to just put that thing down and stop trying to use it because that's definitely not going to work. This is becoming a problem. Sean can't even participate in the podcast anymore because of his stupid pop filter.
Look, you don't want to use this thing without a pop filter. This mic will pick up my plosives.
Well, I always just use the windscreen on mine. I have a windscreen on my microphone.
You do? Oh, you do? Did it come with one? Mine didn't come with one.
I think I purchased it. You
got an aftermarket windscreen?
Yeah.
That doesn't blow in one direction? Yeah. So I wonder.
This microphone, but I don't need to.
There's no need to. It also has a built-in pop filter.
It does.
That microphone does. I wonder. I don't think a windscreen and a pop filter achieve the same thing.
Probably not.
But I don't know.
It just helps me not do the. You know.
Yeah.
It helps cut that down a little bit.
If only the box for the new pop filter that I got was like right within arm's reach, I could just quick bust that thing out. But now I'm here holding this up with my thumb.
You know what? You could you could.
All right, man.
You know what?
What's that, Matt?
You could mute your mic for a quick second. I could even mute my mic for a quick second. And then when I edit, it will cut all that time out. You could put your other pop filter on and we could be happy little boys singing happy little tunes.
You know what, though? I refuse to do that.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Because I feel like that's deceptive.
Yeah. Well.
So I refuse.
Whatever. What a waste of fucking time it would be.
Don't you agree?
Could you imagine?
We owe the audience more than that.
Could you imagine if I just left in that 4 minutes of pure silence that just happened?
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Could you imagine?
Gosh, do we have to? Oh boy,
we can't do that to people. They'll
be you're right.
Yeah. All right. That was nightmarish to sit and watch.
It's clear that whoever made these arms didn't factor in someone wanting to attach a pop filter to it because they're very like thick compared to because you have your arm is in two separate pieces.
Yep.
Whereas this is one solid piece, and the other one's even taller than this one is.
Right.
It's like the dimensions of yours, but all just covered up and enclosed. So I don't. There probably is some sort of pop filter out there that has a clamp that maybe is more suited for something like this, but I showed you the two I have are like they were identical almost.
Right.
So I'm just gonna stick with my current situation and fight through the rest of this episode.
I mean, well, it looks like you attach it to your desk now, so it seems like it's at least not going to be floppy and moving around. You don't have to hold it anymore.
I did attach it to the desk, but this is also the second time this episode where I've attached it to the desk.
Oh.
The issue is not... Anyway, blah, 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 blah. The issue is where the little bendy arm piece attaches to the clamp, it for some reason gets like it's unscrewed partially when you try to turn it a certain way. So that's what was happening. So I just had to try to tighten it back.
What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
It was so long ago.
I have no goddamn idea.
All right.
We were talking about ShamWows and what's the best to wipe up. Yeah, One Direction. I Uber for weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, you know. That's it. That's what we were talking about.
That's where we were. All right, we lost our momentum with that bullshit.
We did. So, have you heard of the YouTube phenomenon, which is Skippity Toilet?
I have heard mention of Skippity Toilet. I believe it's been around for a long time.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know how long it's been around, but
I just recently heard it mentioned. It sounds like it's coming back around.
Every video that gets posted gets multiples of millions of views.
Right.
And it is basically this very cinematic looking, all computer animated, these episodes, I guess, of these. Mm-hmm. There's characters where they are basically a toilet with a head sticking out of them. Mm-hmm. That's where it all started. That's what the Skippity Toilet character started. Then you have characters that are walking around, they're in suits, but they have like security cameras as heads. And then there's other people that walk around, they have like giant speakers as heads, and they're launching missiles at each other, and like buildings are blowing up, and it's just chaos. And it's just bizarre. And the Skippity Toilet people, the ones that actually have faces, they every once in a while express this very stretched out, creepy looking smile. It's just one of those things that's just so beautifully weird,
right,
that there's a reason it's caught on. So I looked up, and every year I get my son a new ornament for the tree. And so I looked and found on Amazon a Skippity Toilet ornament. This looked pretty basic the toilet was black, and it has like machine gun things on the sides, and there's just like a head sticking out of it with a Santa hat on. And you could tell it's nothing that's like officially licensed, or it's not like an actual, you know. So I got it yesterday. It was delivered, and I pick up the box, and I can hear a little rattling around. So I open it up today, and the first thing I noticed is one of the little machine gun pieces had broken off of the side of the ornament. And I took pictures of it just in case they wanted them. But the face, you could tell if it was like molded or 3D printed. I couldn't really tell, but it was very poorly done because there's these just huge pieces of excess material like all over the thing. So mainly the fact that it's busted, I'm going to be just sending it back. And I have to, now it's Christmas Eve, and I have to either forego having a new ornament for him this year or come up with something else on the fly.
Right.
But yeah, I'm returning that Skippity Toilet ornament because it was busted. But either way, if anyone out there was thinking about ordering this wonderful little ornament, I would recommend not, because it is very cheaply made, and it is not worth the $17 it cost me.
Oh God, no!
I'd say if you find it at a dollar store, I would maybe scoop it up there. But definitely don't order it off Amazon like I did. It is not worth the money.
Did it look decent on Amazon?
There was one image, and it was like the image had two images of it, like one of a more close up and one of a far away.
Right.
But it was small enough where you couldn't really see detail.
Mm.
But that's not what I guess I wasn't thinking about. Ooh, I wasn't expecting high quality. Let's just say that. But so I wasn't super concerned about looking at it very close up. But it was worse than I would have expected. Which is a little discouraging.
For that price.
Oh yeah,
be a little bit better than that.
And the fact that it arrived broken.
Yeah.
All these pieces to this puzzle. And again, since this wasn't, this may have just been made by some random person that decided to try and make and sell Skippity Toilet ornaments. I don't know if any sales of these ornaments, if the money goes to the creator of Skippity Toilet, or it just goes to the whatever Yahoo decided to make these up.
I'm sure Skibbity Toilet Creator is not getting $1.
Yeah. So if anyone is close to the Skibbity Toilet people, you could, make them aware. Maybe they can come after this salesperson.
Yeah, they need somebody in brand protection.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, if you got all your holiday shopping done?
My holiday shopping consists of sending money home for other people to go buy things for me. So, yes, that's done.
Good.
We sent off all the money and boom, done. And then, my Christmas present to myself was this microphone and my hard drive. So that's done.
Yeah. Mine was this microphone and this arm. And then I remember a while ago when I had to, establish myself as another pen owner, a well supplied person of pen.
Yeah.
Well, I have a kid, so I'm down to very few of those pens that I can find anymore. So in my stocking, I'll find myself another package of pens.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You going to put those under lock and key?
No, but I'm hoping that the ones that my son has commandeered thus far will be enough for him, and he will leave these alone. Or I could just put a hard, fast rule and say, don't touch these pens.
That's another thing, yeah. Or you could stock his stuffing. Stuff his stocking. Stock his stuffing. I mean, you could do that too. You could supply a bunch of stuffing. But
I could fill his stocking with stuffing.
Yeah, there you go. You could put some pens in his stocking.
Well, so he's already got my pens.
Well, you could take all your pens back and then be like, here, these are your pens.
Nah, I don't know. We'll see.
Like
maybe
once he's touched a pen, it's dead to you.
Maybe what this can do is I'll have my new supply of pens. Maybe we can round up all the pens that have, found their way elsewhere and say, okay, these are your pens now.
Right.
And I've got these pens. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah.
And what only speak to me on my birthday.
Pens for?
He draws and stuff. He draws things and writes things.
He does that now.
So he grabs a pen now. Yeah, he's of
that age.
Yeah, he's almost 12. He's of the age where he can write and drawing now. Things.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's eating solid foods sometimes.
They get old so fast.
We're introducing different foods every now.
Oh, he's off the breast.
Yeah. Made it really awkward for me because I had to find my own source of milk. I had to go to a third party.
It made it odd for your milk consumption?
No, it made it odd because obviously when he's with me, if he's on the breast, I can't really give him that. So I had to, get in contact with some.
I mean, you could. He could latch onto you and you could just pour some milk down your chest.
Why would I do that if he's just drinking the milk that's not coming from me anyway? I'll just pour him in. I'll pour the milk into a bottle, let's say. Whoever, Wow, drinking from a bottle, a baby, huh?
If you want to be weird, sure. Put it in a bottle. Let him drink it out of that.
Gotcha. But I'm supposed to maintain the illusion that I'm producing this milk.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't get confused at all. Because, I could do my best to channel it so it basically ends up right there. But, it's going to, it could be like what's it? Not Plinko, but where it'll run off in different directions potentially. Depending on the angle I'm at.
A punch on the side of his face. Yeah, but
right. Which then he'll kind of catch on. Like, why is drinking from Dad so different?
Yeah, why is it also cold?
Yeah, that too.
And chocolate.
Only on special occasions.
Oh, sorry. Why does your breast milk taste like almonds, Dad?
All right. Well, hey. Should we go over what I got my son for Christmas?
Yeah, because we can't end this episode on talking about your son breastfeeding from you.
Right. Yeah, we cannot.
We cannot do that.
So
we could talk about wet ass pussy again.
We could, but we already covered that.
No. Okay.
We already squeezed all we could out of that topic.
Now, okay, so I doubt your son listens to this, so it doesn't matter if we talk about it. Plus, by the time this drops, well, no, this will drop probably before he opens his presents, but.
Yeah, he will, anyway. But he's not going to listen to it. He's been advised not to.
Okay. You don't know what he's doing secretly. What if he's secretly listening off in the, when he's not around?
That sounds gross. Like, what if he's secretly listening off?
I listen off all the time. I'm gonna listen off later tonight.
Secretly.
I don't know what it means, but it's weird.
Yeah. So he had sent me. He basically had compiled a unique Amazon list that was just for me, and then he had a separate list for his mom. That way, because there's different
double the presents and blah blah blah.
Though he wouldn't get double the presents. Plus, at his mom's house, he has a desktop computer. Here, he has a laptop computer, so he's not going to ask for a wireless keyboard and mouse,
right?
For so he had a very expensive gaming chair on his list, which he already has a desk chair. He had a very expensive pair of gaming headphones, which he already has 2 pair of gaming headphones that just aren't really expensive.
Right.
And he asked for 2 27-inch monitors. 2, right?
Jesus Christ.
He asked for
trying to set up a whole empire.
I know. He asked for like a wireless gaming mouse and keyboard. And he asked for this certain Zelda poster. And he asked for a certain Nerf gun. And then 2 different... There's this one Roblox game, if you've heard of Roblox, but it's called Pet Simulator. Yep. So he asked for these 2 sort of mystery boxes where it's just you get what's inside. It's Pet Simulator related, but you don't know what you're going to get until you open it. So I decided against the monitors.
Right.
But I know he wants to... Oh, he also asked for a camcorder.
What?
He asked for a cam... So he also... So listeners that don't know, I also have a YouTube channel, right? And so my son has also taken on the desire to make YouTube videos. So he wants to do that. So the camcorder was to be what he records himself with.
Right.
Versus trying to use his phone because he's on a PC and not a Mac, and his phone is an Apple computer, or an Apple phone. So when he records a video on his phone, you have to convert the file type before you can play it on his laptop. So he can't edit the video until he does that. So anyway, the camcorder he picked, I don't think he knew what he was looking at because it was only 15 FPS, which I've never heard of that before. Television is in like 29, and then film is in 24. And a lot of things now, they want you to film it in 60 FPS because it's smoother. But anyway, so I got him a webcam that is 1080p at 60 FPS. So that will serve him better than the camcorder he picked out. The one thing that I actually got him that was on his list was the keyboard and mouse that he picked out.
Okay.
But I went sort of a step in between having him have a full... Because he wanted to do like my setup where he's got a stand for his laptop and his laptop is closed up and standing up on a little stand and is plugged into these monitors and he's basically treating it like it's a desktop. So I did a step in between that. I got him the webcam, which also comes with its own little tripod, so it doesn't have to be on the top of his laptop screen. So if he tilts his laptop screen or it wobbles or something, the camera won't wobble. So I got him that, and I got him... It's not as nice of a microphone as this, but I got him this gaming microphone that comes with its own arm and pop filter and everything, and it lights up different colors. So he'll have that, he'll have the camera, and he'll have the separate keyboard and mouse. And so I noticed that when his keyboard, especially when he's playing something like Fortnite on it, his laptop, the fan kicks on immediately and it is blasting the entire time.
Right.
So I got him one of those laptop stands where it just sits up at like an angle, and it's a cooling stand.
Okay.
So, and I looked at this list of really great stands and what they're rated as, and this one had a really high rating for fan silence, like how quiet it is. So I'm hoping that this will keep his laptop cool enough so that the fans in the actual inside the laptop won't have to kick on, or maybe not nearly as much.
Right.
And that'll help reduce that background sound. Then what else did I get him? I got him
depending on the microphone, that might help too if it's not picking up his audio.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well this mic does for room noise. Background sounds. I don't know. But then I got him some boring stuff like a new set of sheets. I got that was another gift for me. I got myself a new set of sheets for my bed, and I got him a new set of sheets for his bed. And he's wanted this 4x4 Rubik's Cube versus the standard 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So he's going to have that. I got us each some chocolate oranges because I always have to get those every year.
For some reason.
Because they're delicious. That's the reason.
And your chocolate oranges.
That's the reason I got the dark chocolate one, the milk chocolate one, and the new white chocolate one. Yes, I'm trying all 3.
Okay.
Yes. Plus, at my work, for some reason, there's these little vanilla sandwich cookies called Leos. So I got them little 4 packages of Leos, which are pretty cool. That might be it. I can't remember. I think that might be it. Yeah.
It sounds.
Oh, and I got him a book that he was excited that came out. So I got him that too.
Oh, it sounds so expensive.
Well, no, it wasn't crazy.
It just sounds like a lot. It seems like it piles up to be just a ton of stuff. When in this grand scheme, it's like, yeah, I didn't really spend that much. It's just like a lot of cumulative things, but they weren't like ridiculously expensive. But
yeah, it's a bunch of little things, and they weren't crazy.
See, our whole thing, we were always like you get a lot of little presents and stuff. There was always just like there was one big expensive present, and then a lot of just kind of little stuff. And I feel like that's kind of the way to go with it usually.
Yeah, I was. If there was going to be a big present this year, it probably would have been a monitor for him. But I think that he can hold off on that. He was wanting a 240 hertz monitor, which here's one thing I don't know enough about. Like if you hook up a 240 hertz monitor to a laptop where the laptop built-in monitor itself is only like 60 hertz, I guarantee. I know the monitor. It's the standalone monitor has its own separate refresh rate, and that's how it is a 240 hertz monitor. But would it present that way when he's playing through the laptop? I think it might, but it might also depend on the HDMI cable you're using. It might have to. Yeah. It might have to be able to support that type of refresh rate. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I don't really know either because I'm just on my laptop straight up. I don't hook my laptop to anything.
Yeah.
So
like I don't know I don't think this monitor I have, I think it's just a 60 hertz monitor. So I wasn't even thinking about, I wasn't thinking about refresh rate because wasn't important to me. So I don't know enough about it to know.
Yeah. Cause you're not doing like crazy gaming and different stuff like that on your computer.
No.
So refresh rates for you don't really matter for anything.
But if his laptop is kept cooler, that might also help with just the game performance anyway.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm hoping that it'll do well and serve him well. But I think he'll be excited because he's always, and this will help him be able to get more into being able to edit the videos on his own without me having to help him at all.
Yeah.
Because then he might just put out more videos. Because now, I just looked. My last YouTube video was 4 weeks ago.
Oh,
I haven't really been on it.
Falling behind.
To take on more videos from him as well.
Right.
It would just be like, I ain't got time for this.
Yeah, you got to get out there and spend weeks Ubering. So
weeks at a time.
Weeks at a time.
With a trunk full of Wapti. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. And we'll
see. Class dismissed.
Yeah. Well, we'll say we'll see you next Tuesday, but this came out early.
If this comes out on a Monday, the next Tuesday is the next day. So see you 2 Tuesdays from now.
Man, it just doesn't work as well.
I know. Plus, last week we were inaccurate then because we said see you next Tuesday, but they're going to see us Monday. We didn't know then. We plan ahead here at High School Famous.
See you next time.
See you that time.
That actually works.
It does.
All right.
But it's less funny.
Well, bye.
Bye.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at hsfamouspod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
Our mysterious Belgian